Going to be peer reviewing Kaylee's project here. So the first question is, does the artist generally understand the requirements of the project? I would say yes, they do. I can clearly see that they chose Vice as their overall theme, as I can see that alcohol um, throughout this project. They also submitted the amount of pictures that was required of them, and so yeah, I think that they generally understood the requirements of the project. The next question says, how effectively has the artist used the elements of principle of design and photography to compose the images, and do they convey the sense of unreal, hyperreal, surreal? So they chose to use black and white, which was a good way to convey Vice, I think. And they also played with the contrast and lighting within some of these. They also, I guess, to get kind of a surreal feeling, a lot of these pictures are blurry, purposefully, I think. So that kind of contributes to that. The next question is, what are the images about and what story is the artist trying to tell? And I think that the blurriness they used was part of the story they were trying to tell. So I can obviously tell that this person here either has a drinking problem of some sort or is just having a really rough night and like cannot handle what's going on and is just resorting to bad things. So I would say that they've used the blurriness to kind of depict how the subject is feeling, how the subject is seeing the world around them. With these pictures here, with like her head in her hands, and just like continually going back and forth between the computer to the shot, to the computer to the shot. Obviously, they're really, really struggling with something and are continually resorting to the same thing over and over again. And in some of these pictures, the subject looks really distraught, like in this one, and sometimes they are kind of smiling, like in this one. So that part could be a little confusing, but yeah. So the next question is, are there particular images that stand out as the best and why? I would say that some of the best images would be like the blurry ones in a way, like this one or this one, because I think they truly depict more of the surreal feeling that was kind of a goal within this certain project. And I kind of like how you can just see how the subject is kind of distraught in that picture. And this picture, I just feel like this person is just kind of like drowning their problems. And those kind of things I can like see and read through the picture and what the photographer did. And like in this picture here too, like I can clearly see that they are like really, really upset. The next question is, are there particular images that stand out as weak or needing improvement? So I would say like this picture here, where it's just a picture of kind of like an over top view of her laptop, or let's see, like this picture here or this picture here. I don't know if like they're starting to feel good from the alcohol, and maybe that's why they're smiling. Um, but I just feel like those kind of stand out as weak because I have a hard time depicting what the artist is trying to convey in those pictures, just because I see this as like a downward slope, and I would assume that the subject would only get more and more distraught as the story continues. So those ones were just a little confusing to me, just because I think it was kind of unclear. So that kind of leads into the next question of what they could do to improve the narrative qualities of those images. And I would just say to make sure that your subject is aware of what you're trying to capture, to make it more clear to the viewer as to what exactly the exact story you're trying to convey here. Just because, like I said, personally, I would think that it would be a continuing downward slope as they keep going back to the shots, they keep um, getting more not in the right mind, and they're more and more upset, they're more and more distraught. So I just think that that could have been portrayed a little bit more clearly. But yeah, overall, I think that they did a good job in understanding what was expected of us, and that they chose a good overlaying theme. Um, and I think that they just need to work on more clearly depicting the story that they're trying to tell.